also somewhat of, I think, an easy pick for us.
I think so.
He made a trade with me, I obtained next year's third-round pick. He obtained Tom Brady. The reasoning behind that, I hope I don't ruffle any feathers, but for speaking for Coach Green, I think it's obvious, though, that he obtained Brady in order to get him into the pool of drafted players, knowing that Andy Quacks likely won't be taking him due to something else that may be occurring. And so I think he's going to go ahead and take Tom Brady here. And given the way Brady's been playing during camp, I think it's a great pick.
At this point, it's looking okay. I know I kind of
poo-pooed.
Yeah, I kind of scratched my head a little bit at the time. But hey, if he's going to be, he was on fire, especially those first two games.
Right.
I know the last game against the Lions went a little
right.
awry, if you will.
Right.
Not the bread, not rye bread, awry. But yeah, I think right now it's looking pretty good.
Right. So Brady there for Boston Loggers. Then the third pick of the second round.
This is where it gets a little tricky.
This is where we are.
Although I think I know this one.
I think I do too. So maybe not. But Hong Kong Cavaliers, he actually traded up to get this pick with John, Coach Johnny C. So it makes you think that Whiffen has someone he really wants here. He is keeping Doug Martin, good keeper player.
Black Doug.
Yes. What are your thoughts? Sounds like you have an idea. I also have an idea.
I'm gonna guess with fair certainty that he is interested in Trent Richardson.
Yes, I agree.
And I have a reasoning behind that.
I do too.
Obviously, Trent Richardson is a great running back, but Trent Richardson was on VIP on Swole last year.
Yes.
You know who else was on VIP on Swole last year?
Doug Martin.
Who won the Dynasty Trophy last year?
VIP on Swole.
So, Whiffen, after years of mediocrity, is trying.
So you're saying mediocrity is so 5
well,
and 10
okay,
and
less than mediocre.
Okay.
I'm sorry, you're right.
Sorry,
less than mediocre, just like bottom of the barrel, just like the scum of the earth.
Well, not that far down.
No, just in the middle.
Yeah.
He is trying to emulate VIP on Soul. I think that's
kind of a copycat.
Yeah.
Not anything wrong with that.
I think that's what's going on here.
He sees where success was, and he's going to go possibly. And I also briefly spoke with him as well, and he kind of hinted at the fact that he's very high on Richardson. So I know he would probably take Calvin if he was available here, but we're mocking that he will not be. So let's go ahead and pen him in. Trent Richardson, Hong Kong Cavaliers. Next pick, number 16, Yellow Peril. He's keeping Ray Rice. He's in the midst of a 12-game losing streak. He's playing Hong Kong in the first game, so we'll see if that streak continues. But it all begins with his first pick of many in this draft, one of the favorites here in this year. What do you think?
This is probably the real first question mark. I think Hong Kong's was actually easier than we anticipated.
Yes.
But there's a couple routes he could go if he wants to go running back.
Thinking running back or receiver?
Yeah. If he wants to go running back, I mean Forte, Ridley, Chris Johnson, Bush, Jones, Drew, DeMarco Murray. I don't think he'll go down that far.
Yeah.
Receivers, you have AJ Green and Brandon Marshall. Those are probably the two that you're looking at.
Yeah.
My gut.
MJD? Did you say MJD?
Yeah, okay. I said it. My gut is to say Brandon Marshall.
But receiver here.
Yeah, well, but that's my gut.
Think Marshall will be over AJ Green?
I mean, it's a toss-up.
Who did Jay Young pick first last year? Wasn't it? He kept McFadden. and he kept McFadden, and didn't he team him up with another running back? I want to say he did in the second round.
I can't remember.
It was later in the second round, but I'm pretty sure, and that's why I'm leaning running back here. It sounds like you're leaning receiver.
I could certainly see running back. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just telling my gut, like shot out of a cannon. Boom, who's he taking? Brandon Marshall.
You know what?
But if you have a better thought,
I don't have a better particular running back, but
you're pretty.
I was leaning towards just that position.
Let's go running back.
No, Bob. I was just gonna say. I think I've learned not to question your gut. You're usually pretty spot on with your gut. So let's go with your gut. Maybe the next time we're kind of split, we'll go with my gut.
Okay.
But for this one, let's go with you. And you're thinking Marshall. You're thinking Brandon Marshall.
Yeah, I think Brandon Marshall.
Brandon Marshall to the Yellow Peril with the number 16th pick.
If we had a pencil, we would pencil him in, but
we don't.
So we penned him in.
Right, which may later come back to haunt us. We'll have to wait and see.
But for those of you listening at home and writing this down, like the 12-year-olds that go to Fenway and they keep the book,
right.
If you're doing this, Pencil him in. Don't pen him in.
Yeah.
Pencil it.
Learn from our mistake. Pick number 17, the Rapists. Coach Johnny C. He, as we just mentioned, he actually traded down a bit, just a few picks here. He's keeping his boy Drew Brees. I have a little bit of intel with Coach Johnny C, obviously, and I speak with him, and I do have a possible idea as to who he may be looking at. Although I do have to, he did admit that he actually has not started his draft prep yet. Although at the time you're listening to this, he may have. It was over the weekend. It was Sunday, I think, or Saturday. I forget when it was. Saturday.
So he's too busy eating bananas.
Which, hey, everyone has their own, ritual, their own process. Some start months in advance. Some start the week of, whatever. I was actually, he kind of gave me a little hint. I might as well just go ahead and say it. He's high on S-Jacks. I hope that's okay. And
really?
I don't blame him. So he's thinking he's, a touchdown machine there on the Atlanta Falcons. Not sure, though, if he's going to pick him here in this first pick or not.
Maybe
he does have a second pick later. But
I personally...
But let me just finish.
Okay, sorry.
Will DeYoung is next. And I have a feeling that Will is also high on S-Jacks. So if John wants S-Jacks, bad, he may have to take him here. If he doesn't, he's risking possibly not getting him later on. Because I remember Will took Adrian Peterson last year, right?
Yes.
So,
it's
he's
high
on running backs. So, what do you think, though, with John?
Well, my original thought was running back.
Okay.
But not
S.
Steven Jackson. By the way, I don't call him S. Jackson. I call him Steven Jackson.
Okay.
But that's just
I call him S. Jackson.
Personal preference. My original thought was Ridley. I know John's a Pats fan.
I'm going to stop you because I don't think he would take Ridley because he's been
because he's a Pats fan.
Yes, because he's been very frustrated with the Pats in general over the past few years. So I just don't see him taking Ridley because I think he'd be afraid of the randomness of the Patriots running backs. Even though Ridley's great, I'm sure I don't see John.
Okay.
I don't see that being a Johnny C player.
Okay, so you think Steven Jackson?
Yes.
Okay,
I do.
I'll go with it.
Let's go with S-Jacks. Okay, the next pick number 18, as mentioned before, the Rockdalian Senators. The bastard has got Adrian Peterson. Absolutely amazing keeper player. The number one consensus pick of the draft. So, in a way, he's already starting ahead of everyone else.
It's amazing that he got him in the second round last year and he still wasn't that good.
Yeah. You could team him up with another running back. We could see a quarterback fly off the board here. We still, we got Peyton. I guess, who's the next? Maybe Cam Newton. And then we still have a good amount of receivers. What are you thinking, Bub?
I think he's going to go receiver.
I do too. And with Peterson, you almost have two running backs already.
Yeah. And I'm thinking one of two here that actually, I personally think there's one of three. I think there's one of two that he is debating over.
Okay.
Or at least potentially picking.
Right.
That would be AJ Green.
Yeah.
And
Julio. Yeah, I agree.
Those would be the two that I would throw.
And Bob.
Yes.
Will traded for Julio last year. Remember at the end of the year.
He did.
And Julio did really well for him. So that may factor in. I think it will factor in.
You think it's Julio?
I think it's Julio. He's a sexy player too, and I know Will likes his sexy players.
You've seen him on that commercial with Aaron Foster?
I've seen him.
He looks good.
And
I think it's him and Aaron Foster.
And I know Will likes to work out how his own players look.
But first of all, Will does not work out.
No.
But I can't see someone taking Julio Jones over AJ Green.
Wait, say that again?
I can't see someone taking Julio Jones over AJ Green.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I don't know. I think Will may think
Julio?
and he may not be incorrect, that Julio is better than AJ Green. They're both incredible.
Yeah, both great receivers.
But who's going to have the better fantasy season? It could go either way. AJ Green is slightly ranked better than Julio, barely. They're both in the top 5. So I just think that Will...
You want to go with your gut on this time, or with my gut the other time?
Yeah, let's go with my gut on this one. I just think that Julio is Will's type of player. So let's go with Julio Jones for the Rockdalian Senators. Next pick, number 19, the second pick of this of Coach Green's draft here. Boston Loggers. We've saying that he's already kept LaShawn McCoy. we're pretty confident he's drafting Tom Brady. He did say